true example of a stellar public servant, Congressman Peter King from Long Island. Peter, welcome back to the show, sir. How are you this morning?
Joe, it's great to be with you, and happy St. Joseph's Day.
Thank you, sir. For coming from you, I appreciate that. And happy St. Patrick's Day. You look great. Peter, you look younger than ever. I got to tell you something. You're posting the pictures. I retweeted two of them. Congratulations, you were the Grand Marshal at the St. Patrick's Day Parade with the Port Authority Police. And congratulations. That was fun, yes?
It was great. I'd say the Port Authority cops was great. The whole march was terrific, and I had lunch with Cardinal Dolan at his residence, and then over to the west side to a place called Taylor's Pub on 35th and 8th. The Port Authority cops at the whole top floor. We had a great time. Rosemary was there. Even though she's Polish, she enjoyed being with the Irish guys almost as much as she enjoyed being with the Italian guys on Friday night with you.
Did you walk the whole parade, Congressman?
Yeah, from 44th to 79th. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I thought they would have a Peter King float, you wave like that, like they do. That was great. Hey, Congressman, if we can, sir, the president issues his first veto. He issued his first veto last week in response to what Congress did on his emergency declaration. That will not get overturned, correct?
No, I cannot see it getting overturned at all. It could be even blocks in the House. I don't think we'll get enough votes in the House to overturn it. Certainly not the Senate. And I think the Senate was really wrong here. And the Republicans in the Senate were wrong. I voted for it. Even if I didn't support the wall, I think the president has the right to do this. I mean, the statute says that he can declare an emergency and he can reappropriate funding. And that's what he did here. Now, even if he just made this decision, the Congress gave him the power to do this years ago when they passed this emergency-type legislation. So, to me, it really is a violation of separation of powers. If Congress feels that badly about it, to change the law. You can't say we're giving the president power to declare an emergency and then say that Congress disagrees with that emergency. They gave the power to the president, not to be kept with Congress. So if they gave him that power, they can't just take it away unless they actually pass a specific law that takes away the power. You can't do it case by case. Otherwise, he doesn't have the power.
Congressman King, first and foremost, when gang members come across the southern border of the United States, then they end up in your communities in Long Island. I mean, tell us about that, sir. This is a vital problem, and I don't understand why the Democrats won't help out. And some Senate Republicans would not vote in favor of it, which really incensed me. But tell us about the problems you see that come across the southern border that end up in Long Island, sir.
Yeah, we've had MS-13, which is maybe the most deadly, vicious gang in the country, has settled in places in my district, Central Islip, Brentwood, certain other communities, but certainly those two mainly. And we had a string of 18 months there from the fall of October 15th to the spring of 2017. We had 25 murders in 18 months. These are the most brutal murders you can imagine, cutting people to pieces, videoing mutilated bodies and sending to family members. It's just horrible. And it turns out many of them came across the border as unaccompanied illegal migrants. These were, some of them just kids, 14, 15 years old. But they were sent across by MS-13. They were taken in some cases, by families who either supported MS-13 or had family members themselves back in Central America whose lives are being threatened. So anyway, you had this coming in, and since President Trump got involved, those murders have been reduced from 25 to 0, but the threat is still there. I mean, there's an all-out effort by the police, the FBI, ICE, the U.S. Attorney's Office, Suffolk County Police, Nassau County Police, all going out after them, but they are there. Right now, they're on defense, but they are there. And in the last series of big indictments in Nassau County, there were 11 people indicted for vicious murders. 6 of them had come across the border in the last 3 or 4 years as illegal minors. So this is... and that's kids like 14, 15 when they came across.
Yeah.
And now vicious murders. And again, that's 6 out of the 11. So, I mean, that's more than 50% of those who carried out the murders that come across illegally just in the last several years. This is a real life and death threat.
It sounds like an emergency to me, Congressman, huh?
It certainly is, yeah. And if you were one of those, 25 families whose son or daughter was cut to pieces, you would certainly say it's an emergency. And also, they were terrorizing the local schools.
Yeah, and Congressman, tell us about New Zealand. I hate to stay negative, Congressman King, but these things are happening. Give us your take on what happened at the two mosques in New Zealand, sir.
Absolutely horrible, despicable. There's no way anyone can even begin to find any rationale for it. This was an evil, vicious person. And I do think it's important for people. Listen, he has nothing to do with the conservative movement or Make America Great, where some people are trying to tell, sort of see how we said that. I think all of us have the obligation immediately to speak out and say that if that anyone's type of hate speech can encourage us. If we're going to criticize the Congresswoman from Minnesota for what she said on the House floor, using anti-Semitic language, and I consider that virtually hate language, then we have to denounce all that type of language. The time has come to end this stuff. And, I don't know. I mean, people say that there's economic frustration, there's social frustration, and you take the depression, which it couldn't have gotten any worse here in the United States. I don't recall ever reading about any mass murders or people going into schools. And, you and I grew up in some pretty tough neighborhoods. I never, maybe that's individual gang members going after each other.
Yeah.
It was unheard of, even consider that someone's going to walk into a school and start mowing people down the way we've seen it here. So, no, this is a horrible thing. We should look to see if there's any kind of international movement. I don't think there is. I don't see any international connection between what he did and any of the skinhead groups or nationalist groups. But again, it has to be condemned. Unequivocally, no excuses, no comparisons.
Hey, Congressman, do you think that maybe in Congress or in the Senate they'll pass some kind of law where the FCC oversees Facebook so they can see some red flags when you have somebody as evil as this cockroach, who killed 50 people, at these mosques? What do you think?
I certainly think we should look at it if we can do it without, again, getting involved in other free speech issues. Yes, I agree. I mean, that could be the different facts here. Like, and I said this didn't go on in the 1930s, so maybe if they had social media, then you would have had these type murders going on because it appeals like to people's worst instincts.
Yes.
Yeah, but listening to the experts, they say these guys can hide these videos so much that this guy placed it in 10 or 15 different locations and 10 or 15 different sites. So again, it certainly has to be looked at. I know that Facebook resists all this. Sometimes they're effective as far as countering terrorism, but no, we have to look at all aspects of it and find out why these events, like the events out in Pennsylvania last year with the temple, the person was blown down, or the black church in South Carolina several years ago.
Yeah, Congressman Peter King, appreciate it. And the president is welcoming this new president of Brazil. Is he our friend? Is someone we could trust? I don't even know anymore, Congressman.
No, I think we can work with him. Yeah, I think we can work with him, but it's a dangerous world, and the only guy we can really trust is Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, there you go, especially on St. Joseph's Day. By the way, Congressman, I know you're Irish as Irish can be, but we got Zapoli here, and you're more than welcome, sir, to come by the station. We got some good Italian pastry.
Now you tell me, but if I know that, I would have come in the studio and done the show. Here you go.
Congressman, you're very gracious with your time, sir. Always appreciate it. Keep up the great work, Peter King. God bless you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay,
thank you. He's part Italian. I think he's got a little Italian in Congressman King right there. Joe on the radio.